Hey guys, I'm T and welcome to the channel. Today's tutorial is giving soft, simple, and sweet. We're making a ribbed crochet tank top with chunky bow tie straps that add just the right amount of charm. It's easy to make, easy to wear, and perfect for everything from lounging to layering. If you're new here, welcome. I share modern crochet patterns and tutorials every Wednesday and Sunday, so tell a friend, tap the bell, and subscribe so you never miss an upload. Also, if you enjoy the video, give it a big thumbs up or 2 thumbs down if you don't. Either way, it's a great way to support the channel to help keep these tutorials free. So without further ado, here's how to make your own bow strap tank top. For this project, any category 4 yarn will work, but I used a total of 160 grams of yarn. That's 360 yards if you're stateside. As for tools, a 5mm hook, scissors, stitch markers, and a tape measure. There is a written pattern down below. Use offer code TCDDIY for a discount off any $9.99 plus order, and enter this week's pattern giveaway by telling us if you'd rather sing instead of speak or dance instead of walk. As much as I love singing, I'd probably have to say dance. Details for the giveaway down below. We're using 3 stitches for this project, and will be as follows. Chain, slip stitch, single crochet, and half double crochet. This tutorial is made for a size small. You can adjust it for your size, and we explain how to in the video, so let's get started. Getting this top started, we're all going to grab our category 4 yarn and make a slip knot. Then we're all going to grab our 5mm hook and start off by making a chain that starts about 1 inch underneath our underarm down to the bottom of our top. So you can make this cropped or full length. So I'm going to start by making a chain 50. That's just about 11.5 inches or 29 centimeters. I already have this section of mine completed, so I'm just going to do a small sample size with you, but it's super duper easy. What we're going to do from here is start with a half double crochet row. So start by blocking off our last chain and do a chain 2. That chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch, that's our turning chain. Then from here, yarn over. Into that chain that we blocked off, or the 3rd chain from our hook, insert, yarn over, pull through to get 3 loops on our hook. Then yarn over, pull through all 3. That is our first half double crochet. Let's do that again. Yarn over, into that following chain, insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Continue with 1 half double crochet into every chain. Our row 1 is complete. Now our row 2 is going to be another half double crochet row. So chain 2, flip our work, and 1 half double crochet into every stitch. So yarn over, into that first stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through 3. Again, yarn over, next stitch, pull through 3, and from here continue with 1 half double crochet into every stitch. Our row 2 is now complete. Now to do our row 3, which is going to be a back loop slip stitch row, we're going to chain 1 and flip our work. From here, 1 back loop slip stitch into every stitch. So finding the first stitch from our previous row, we're going to insert into that back loop, yarn over, gently pull through everything on our hook. Again, into that next stitch is back loop, insert, yarn over, and gently pull through everything. And from here, continue with 1 back loop slip stitch into every stitch. And just as a really quick tip, after every stitch, we want to make sure that we're not tugging too tightly, otherwise the following row will be too tight to work into. Our row 3 is now complete. Now to complete our 4-row repeat, it's going to be another back loop slip stitch row. So chain 1, flip our work, and put 1 back loop slip stitch into every stitch again. So finding that first stitch from our previous row, insert into that back loop, and pull through everything, and continue with 1 back loop slip stitch into every stitch. We have just completed our first 4 rows. From here, it is going to be a repeat of our 4 previous rows with no increases, no decreases, until we have a portion that can stretch, because it does have a decent amount of stretch to it, around our body. Now, like I said, just continue those 4 rows until we have a portion that can stretch around our body. I did a total of 90 rows. This width is just about 19 inches or 48 centimeters that is unstretched. And just as a really quick tip, when we're stretching it around ourselves, I'd make sure to measure from the under bust and lower, because we are going to add just a little bit more width to the bust once when we get there as well. But I'll meet everyone back right after we complete a second half double crochet row, and then we can seam up the back together. But since mine is already completed, we can seam it up. So we do have a front and a back. So just looking at our piece first, making sure that the tail end is on the bottom left and the working yarn is on the top right corner. The side that we're looking at is going to be the front of our piece. So we're going to flip our work over because we want to look at the back, making sure that the front is along the outside. Our working yarn is going to be along the bottom. Then we're going to wrap this around ourselves, and from there, from the bottom, we're going to pinch all the way up until it gets a little bit too tight to pinch, and then from that point and higher is going to be where we're going to add more width for the bust. But from this point until our stitch marker, we're going to do our seam. Now I went ahead and insert my stitch marker into the 29th stitch from the bottom. That's just about 6.5 inches or 17 centimeters. Now from here, we're going to insert our hook in through the bottom corner stitch of both the front and the back panel. We're going to pull our working yarn through and do a chain up of 1 to secure. Then from here, we're going to find that first stitch into the front panel and insert only into that front loop. Find that next stitch into the back panel, insert only into that back loop. When we have these 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Again, next stitch into the front panel, insert only into that front loop. Next stitch into the back, insert only into that back. Pull through everything, and we're going to continue this, making our way all the way up until we're worked into our stitch marker stitch. Then I'll meet you back. We have just completed seaming up the back. Now from here, we're going to add just a little bit more width for the bust. So making sure that our work is still flipped right side out, right side up. We're going to take a look at the back still, insert our hook into the top corner stitch of the left side of the opening. Then we're just going to put 1 back loop slip stitch into every stitch, leaving 2 stitches right before our seam. Then I'll meet you back. I just made my way all the way down with my back loop slip stitches, leaving 2 stitches right before my seam. Now from here, we're going to do a decrease of 2 back loop slip stitches. So into that next stitch's back loop, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through. Then into that last stitch before our seam, we're going to insert our hook into that back loop as well. When we have these 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 of these loops. Now because we don't want a gap right over the seam, we're just going to find any stitch within the top of the seam and insert, starting with just 1 single crochet. Just make sure that it is a sturdy stitch, single crochet once, and insert your stitch marker into there because that is now our middle stitch. Then working our way up the other side of the opening, start with a decrease into that first available stitch. So into that back loop, pull through, next stitch is back loop, yarn over, and pull through everything on our hook. Then from here, continue with 1 back loop slip stitch into the rest of our stitches. Our first back loop slip stitch row is completed. Now we're still going to do our 4 row repeat, but with the same decreases that we just did. So to do our following back loop slip stitch row, we're going to chain 1, flip our work, 1 back loop slip stitch into every stitch, decrease of 2. Our middle stitch, which is now going to be a back loop slip stitch, don't forget to insert your stitch marker into there, decrease of 2, then 1 back loop slip into the rest of our stitches. Then I'll meet you back. Our second row for the fill-in portion is complete. Now we're going to do a half double crochet row. So we're going to chain 2, flip our work, 1 half double crochet into every stitch, leaving 3 stitches right before our stitch marker. We made our way down with our half double crochets, leaving 1, 2, 3 stitches right before our middle stitch. Now we're going to do a decrease of 3 halves. So yarn over, into that third to last stitch, insert, pull through. Second to last, insert, pull through, then into that last, pull through for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook, then yarn over, pull through all 5. Then we're going to have our 1 middle stitch, so yarn over, into that stitch marker stitch, again with just 1 half double crochet. Don't forget to insert your stitch marker into there. Then working our way up the other side, start with a decrease of 3 halves as well, so yarn over, into that first stitch, pull through, into that next stitch, pull through, then into that following stitch, pull through again for 5 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, then close off the row with 1 half double crochet into the rest of our stitches. Our third fill-in row is completed. Now just to do the fourth one, it's going to be the same as the previous. So chain 2, flip our work, half double crochet into every stitch, decrease of 3 half doubles, middle stitch, decrease of 3 half doubles, then 1 half double into the rest of our stitches. Then I'll meet you back. We've just completed our first 4 rows for the bust width. Continue to repeat these 4 rows until we now have the bust width that we need. Then I'll meet everyone back right after our second half double crochet row so we can seam it together. But after my 4 rows, I am actually all completed. So from here, I'm just going to do my same outside loop slip stitch seam that we did when we seamed up the back. So just to talk you guys through it, making sure that our work is flipped right side out, right side up, we're going to insert our hook into the top corner stitches, do our same exact outside loop slip stitch seam. Then we don't have any more stitches left to work into, do a chain up of 1 and cut. So now that our bust width is all seamed up, we're now going to single crochet along the top to help prep for the straps. So making sure that our work is still flipped right side out, right side up, we're going to insert our hook into that top stitch that we have for the bust seam. We are then going to pull our working yarn through, do a chain up of 1 just to secure. And what we're going to do is put 2 single crochets into every side half double crochet row, then just 1 single crochet in through one side slip stitch row. So we are going to be skipping over a slip stitch row. So I'm going to start by finding my first side row. This is mine right here. It should be a side half for everyone. So find that top loop, insert starting with just 1 single crochet, then into that same top loop, insert again with a second single crochet. Again, our following side row should be another side half double crochet row, so find that top loop, insert into there, starting with just 1 single, into that same top loop with a second single crochet. Then our following side row should be a side slip stitch row. Now the side slip stitch row that we have is going to be this divot, so we're not really going to see that ridge. So to make it easier on ourselves, we're just going to skip that side slip stitch row, then finding our next side slip stitch row, which should be a little bit raised, should be a little bit easier to see. We're just going to find that top loop and insert with just 1 single crochet. Let's do this once more, a little bit faster. So into our following side row should be a side half for everyone. Insert with 2 single crochets. Into our following side half, insert with another set of 2 single crochets. Then into our following side slip, which is technically that divot, we're going to skip over that. Then finding our next side slip stitch row, which is this raised row, find that top loop and insert. We're going to continue doing this, making our way all the way around. While we don't have any more side rows left to work into, slip stitch into that chain space that we made when we got started on this row and do a chain up of 1 and cut. So our single crochet row along the top of our piece is completed. We did slip stitch into that chain space. Now what we're going to do from here is try our piece on, then insert our stitch markers into the places where we'd like for the strap to sit. So counting from the tail end, I've inserted my stitch marker into the 13th and 20th stitch. And counting from stitch marker to stitch marker, I have a total of 8 stitches. That's just about 2 inches or 5 centimeters, which is about the width of the strap that I would like. Now that's going to be the back strap. Now counting again from my tail end, I'm going to insert my next stitch markers into the 44th and 51st. Now I should have 8 stitches from stitch marker to stitch marker again, and this is going to be the front strap. We're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Now everyone's going to start with just 1 single crochet row first, so into your stitch marker stitch, insert your hook, then insert your yarn onto your hook. It can be any stitch marker stitch, it doesn't matter because they're all going to be done the same way. We're going to pull through and do a chain up of 1 to secure. Now working from stitch marker to stitch marker, we're going to start with 1 single crochet into the same stitch that our chain 1 is in. So into that same stitch, insert with 1 single. Then working from stitch marker to stitch marker, 1 single crochet into every stitch. Our single crochet row is complete, so all we're going to do now is chain 1, flip our work, and from here put 1 back loop slip stitch into every stitch. So finding that first stitch's back loop, insert, gently pull through everything, and continue with 1 back loop slip stitch into every stitch. Then for the rest of the strap, it's just going to be back loop slip stitch rows. So at the end of this row, chain 1, flip, 1 back loop slip into every stitch again, and that's it. We're going to continue on with this until we get a strap, or what I will call for the pattern, a ribbon, the length that we would like, keeping in mind that we are going to tie a bow on top of our shoulders for decoration and for security as well. So go ahead and just make this as long as you want, and I'll meet you back. So we are back. We have just completed one of our straps. Now I did a total of 125 rows. Now what we're going to do from here is just repeat that on all of the other sides. Then we should end up with 4 straps like how I have here. Then once we have this on, we're just going to tie it on top of our shoulders like we would a normal bow. But once we have all of these straps completed, we are all done. The last thing we have to do is simply weave in all of our ends. And there you have it, y'all. Hope you enjoy the tutorial. Join us on Instagram, Pinterest, or Twitter. Those links are down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Catch you on the next one. Bye.